Is the
And I think we're live.
You think? You know.
I think we're live.
Yeah, I'm alive. Huh.
I'm alive. I'm cold. Holy crap.
Yeah.
It's like 40 degrees in Arizona.
Nope. I can hear it now.
Yep, we got it.
Oh, how about that?
All right.
I think we know what we're doing.
I guess we'll start by the guy named Mike. Introduce himself first.
Oh, I go first.
That guy.
So I'm Mike
You go
Mills
first.
from White Lodge Garage. Glad everybody could join us.
That guy down below.
Why do I got to be on bottom? Anyway, hey, John, Final Village Garage, Firebird Doctor. You can see here, if you guys have been paying attention, the Project Lamborghini is a little further apart. Ordered a bunch of stuff from it. That's what we're kind of going to talk about tonight. But all I got to say is sheet metal has definitely gone up. So
yeah,
there's that guy over there.
That guy, me. And I'm Brian from Head Garage. And behind me, I have Brandon and the 67 Bird that's in primer and Bondo.
That's a good thing.
That is the thing. This kid has
That's
been
right,
working nights on the Bird. I'll go to bed and he'll work.
Well, how about that?
Winning.
Yeah.
All right, so tonight we're talking parts and where to buy parts.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to say this. I'm an old-fashioned kind of guy, and I like my catalogs.
Oh, yes. Yep.
The old Ames Performance.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because I read picture very good. I like pictures. So.
I like picture books.
Uh-huh.
And sometimes it's just easier to find the part if you don't know the exact name when you're thumbing through a catalog. That's
even
what
when you know the name, you can't find the crap half the time searching the internet. So.
And a lot of times they name it different on different sites.
Yes.
It's kind of crazy.
So this week I got the shifter, the 67 shifter that Louis sent installed in the car, but I was missing the bracket that holds the center console to the car, that little bracket.
Yep.
And I went to Ames, I went to Firebird Central, and I could not find the part. Well, I called Louis, and Louis like, well, it's a brace, not a bracket.
Yep.
And once I did that, guess what? I found it.
Bingo. All right. Where was AI on that one?
Right. So
Louis is joining us via the chat box.
So
Louis
boy.
in there. Louis.
Yeah. Hola.
All right, who wants to kickstart this?
Well, I mean, since I spent I guess it was my dad told me last week, since I spent my inheritance on this car, maybe I should start. I have it torn apart probably 85% now. That way I could get an assessment of how bad it was. I had a pretty good feeling, but a lot of times you don't know until you dig a little deeper into it. So once I did that, I made the list. I mean, it's probably 80% of the sheet metal is going to be replaced. Same thing I did to this car, because I buy them as a complete, total, rusted out basket case. Because even if you buy a little nicer car, you end up replacing most of the metal anyway. Not my favorite way to go, but I don't pay a whole lot for them, so I guess it's kind of a trade-off. But amongst that whole list of sheet metal, I like AMD, I like OER. Now, come to find out, most of it's all stamped by CHL. You'll find that sticker on a lot of their stuff. But what I do, though, is I make that huge list. I like to try to save on shipping. Now, there are some people that have that. They're fortunate enough they could drive someplace, like Summit's close by, or maybe Ames isn't that far of a drive. And you can pick some stuff up. You can coordinate that. But even then, I would have had to take a trailer for the amount of stuff I was going to haul back. When I got home from work, that garage door was blocked with boxes and the stuff got delivered. But what I'm going with that is that I don't have that luxury. I could drive to Ohio. There's some places there in Ohio about a 2.5 hour drive. Wouldn't be horrible. But then I look at the time, my time per hour. I've got a house project. I got a car project. I got kids. I sometimes got to put that in the equation. But where I'm going with this is I play this game. I call it. I lay that whole list out. AMD is sold by most manufacturers or people like Jags, Summit. Uh, let's see, Classic does a more like OER, and I don't know what Ames does for their sheet metal. I've never bought big pieces from them, but I've heard some pretty decent stuff. No complaints from it. So I like to be brand loyal, but not necessarily the guy who's going to ship it to me. So I put all the parts in Jigs. I put all the parts in Summit. I put all the parts halfway into Ames and realized it was getting blown out of the water. I couldn't afford it. And I put it all in Classic Industries. And then somehow, some way, it was $500 cheaper when I bought it all from Summit. Now, $500 is substantial, but it was almost 6,000 or 6,500 bucks. You put that in the equation, it's a lot of money. But I bought anything that was truck freight, leaf springs, bumpers, doors, quarter panels, rocker panels, floor pan. So anything big, I had it all truck shipped, and they actually did a pretty good job of shipping it too. No damage that I could find to any of it. So I'm pretty happy with it actually. So I guess what I'm going to try to say there is if your build plan is to give the complete overhaul, try to make a list and try to save that money on shipping. Because like I said, I got $500 of my inheritance back because I did something like that. So I think I did all right.
Don't worry, you'll spend it somewhere else.
Yes. Yeah, I realize that the wiring harnesses are pretty toasted on this car. I normally try to refurb them, but I don't know on this one. I may buy replacement ones.
Yeah.
Or I may call
John,
Alan L. Pontiac and that's what he's got.
So, John, if you're not in a position to buy $45 worth of sheet metal at one time,
Right.
and you have to piecemeal this, what are you looking for shipping? Like, what can someone expect? I know when I bought the roof.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
when I
Pretty
bought
much
the
as soon as
roof,
you hit that truck freight thing, it goes crazy. So how much was it for your roof?
I think the roof was like $190, but the shipping was almost the same. It was almost double.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So
when I ordered the glass for this, the glass set, the glass was $100. The shipping was $500.
Right.
But that was Classic.
So I mean, if you have to, you can't buy it all once. I get it. I understand. But man, each time you have that truck freight, $200 to $300 or sometimes more.
Oh yeah.
So when I bought the trunk deck and the quarter panel for the GTO, it was like $300 in shipping. I'm like,
Yeah.
Good. What do I do? Like I said, could I drive somewhere? Sure, but again, there's that time equation. How much is your time worth?
Yeah, and if like
right.
you said, if you can get it all on one skid, like if you're doing a big order from Classic and they send it on one skid, you know, it comes a point where you're not adding more shipping every time you put another little piece on that. So that it makes a difference.
Oh yeah, yep. I put on like a big bulk. I think my entire shipment. I mean, basically the whole car. It was like $400 in shipping altogether. It sounds like a lot, but you consider that if I would have bought all that stuff individual, I had $4,000 or $5,000 in shipping probably alone.
Right. Right.
I think that's what I'm trying to let people know is if you can buy those big pieces at one time and save your shipping, you're going to cut your budget in half because of the shipping.
Right.
You're not donating it to shipping, right?
Yeah, you gotta try to consolidate your runs. I will sometimes also take like Classic. If there's certain parts I can only get from Classic, I'll just sit there and put them in my build list or
build a cart. Oh yeah.
And then you wait for the deals, especially with Classic. They'll always have like special shipping rates, things like that. Same with Summit, but with Classic, you just. And then if it's like, okay, I got to get to $250 to get free shipping. Well, I had a bunch of, I'll put a bunch of stuff in my list that I might need later just so that I can grab it real quick when I need something.
Right. Because even Ames will do the kind of the same thing. Like it's a box, 3 foot by 3 foot by 3 foot. I'll keep building my cart at Ames until I finally get, a sizable amount or it gets to the point I need that part. And then I won't have them ship it and spend $20 or $30 shipping. The same thing. I try to bulk ship this stuff whenever you can. So I guess this conversation is like bulk shipping more or less at this point. But that's where I get a lot of the stuff. Like I said, I like AMD OER, but all the little stuff like inside the dash, the harnesses, Ames is kind of hard to beat. I mean, even though they called me a moron one time, I kind of like them still. So.
Same thing here. Screws, fasteners, small items. Ames is it, especially for me. They're just down the road, literally an hour and a half from here. So
yeah, they're literally down the road.
Yeah, it's hard to
for
beat
you.
for me, but I still pay the same shipping as you guys unless I want to go pick it up. That's the funny part, because they pay shipping by the amount of you have in your cart. It's the total in your cart. So, but that's fine. The nice thing about it is it's here the next day. When I order something from Classic, I'm a week out, and I can't plan like that.
Well, California, the other side of the country. You know?
Exactly. I'm opposite end. If I was in northern Maine, it would be worse. That's the only way.
Yep. No, that was a bit of a trip. Now, I bought all this stuff from Summit. I didn't show you the corner of the garage behind me, but there's sheet metal stacked to the ceiling, the quarter panels. It all showed up in 2 days. And I was like, oh, I was anticipating maybe a week or 3. I just thought I'd get the ball rolling. I was like, oh, it's here. Crap. But it's not bad. I just wasn't expecting that. So
yeah, Summit's one of my go-to places too. I did most of my sheet metal came out of Classic, a little bit out of Jegs.
Yeah.
But Summit's any performance parts, motor parts, things like that, I'll get through Summit. Jegs
been my favorite right now. So
yeah, Jegs I do a little bit with. What I will say about Jegs is never order anything on back order. If it's on back order, don't do it. Not with Jegs.
Never get it. Yeah.
You'll never get it. I've spent.
If you try to call them, you spend an hour and a half on the phone just to talk to them. So,
yep, exactly. I had the exact same problem with them. So if it's not in stock, I don't even bother with Jegs. You know.
Yep.
With Classic,
so
Classic usually. Go ahead.
What about buying off Marketplace or Craigslist?
Yeah, that's tough. It's so hard these days. I mean, I actually almost fell into a scam last week. I was trying to buy a really nice OEM bumper. It was almost too good to be true. I should have known from that. It was the exact same time Jonathan and I were trying to do a transaction, and we were having trouble paying each other. And it was like, and I know that him, right? So, that's one of the things I'd like to kick around with you guys is, what do you do best practices for buying things private? Like one of the first flags that goes up for me is if they insist that you send them money as friends and family.
Nope.
Yep.
Don't do it. Because if you don't have that purchase protection, don't do it. It isn't worth it.
It's not worth it.
I typically ask for a phone number. Can I call and talk to you?
Yep. Exactly.
Yep.
And then they don't respond. And then you and then
you're like, it's a bad deal.
That's exactly what happened. And I was literally trying to pay this guy. Yep. Yeah. I was literally trying to pay this guy and have the part shipped to Louis because I'm going to be down there in a week and a half.
Dang
it. And it turned out it was all and I went back to look at the posting because it was a bunch of different parts. They weren't really on Marketplace. They were listed under the 67, 69 Firebird parts for sale group in Facebook. And I went back to look at the listing. Listing was gone.
Yep.
And I'm like, so where'd the listing go? He goes, well, I had to take it down. I sold everything. Well, you didn't sell the bumper.
You did. He stole everything, your money. So.
The other thing that I would say to look out for is if you're trying to pay somebody through PayPal or something like that, or Venmo or whatever, if their PayPal address or their Venmo address doesn't match the name for the place that posted the ad, get out. Don't do it. Be done with it. Louie, brother.
What's up?
Oh.
New haircut, high and tight.
Brand new.
Man. I guess better late than never.
Better late than never. That's what she said.
Yeah.
Louie, you look like you're 25.
I am 25 at heart.
Well, it looks like you got a guy down here asking how much trouble was it to get the body mount bolts loose on the Lamborghini. Let me tell you a little story here. I won't take long. But I have built quite a few Firebirds. I have taken quite a few apart. I have never had any trouble. I've had the bolts rust away almost to nothing, and they still come out. This car, no. It left me hanging. The one on the right front, the nut broke loose, was spinning inside the cage. No big deal. I'm going to replace the torque box anyway. So I just went ahead and welded that nut right to the floor. And I ended up ripping it out the rest of the way, and it came out fine. And then the driver's side rear one did the same thing, but fortunately, the subframe was so rusted, I didn't have to take it loose, come to find out. I just ripped the thing off the car. So I guess what I'm saying is that if you get into that pickle, you can get in there with a welder, weld that nut right to the floor, and rip it out. If it's that rusty, you're going to be doing some repair anyway. So.
The one that always gets me is the rear bottom fender bolt on the driver's side. Seized in there 99.987% of the time. Every
Yep.
freaking
Really?
time. Just a little bit of dirt gets in there. It's over. It's over. And you have a hell of a time getting that out. It's totally blind.
Iron Country Iron says, "Hey guys, I'm getting ready to go my 69 Ram Air 3 400 going into my 67 Bird. What cam mimics OEMS?"
Wow. They used to have quite a few manufacturers. Crane Cams used to make a replica, or I guess the duplicate to the spec, but last I looked it up, I couldn't find it. I think it's the, oh, dang, I'm memory slipping there. 068 cam, I think it was. But that was the Pontiac call out for it. But I don't know, because like I said, it used to be Crane did some retro camshafts, so the factory Ram Air 3 and 4, Ram Air 4 grinds or cuts, but I don't know if they still do or not. So, and I don't think I'd buy a used one because that means who knows on that situation.
Even new
How
cams
about-
right now.
Yeah. How about NL Pontiac? You got any extra Ram Air 3 cams floating around there, Louie?
Nope.
Dang it.
Yeah. Anybody else notice that with camshafts lately? I'm hearing so many horror stories about camshafts just totally lobing
Me
out
too. Yep.
30 seconds
read-
into the first start.
I'm not.
I've read a lot into that. There's a lot of theories. A lot of it saying it's the lifter's fault.
The
Some saying
lifters,
it's the
yeah.
cam. I get kind of nervous breaking in a camshaft and anything. Part of the reason I want the roller camshaft in my high school car, I don't got to worry about it. But that's $2,000 investment by the time you buy the cam, and the lifters, and it gets a little spendy. But I wiped out a cam lobe in the GTO in a matter of a couple of days. It is killing. I did the break in and everything. So I'm a little gun shy. So hey, someone can help me out here. Wilder9 said it is 068 cam. That's what I remember he's telling me, but it's been a while since I looked those up.
It's funny, breaking in a
Mr.
cam
Wilder.
used to be academic. Now it's like you hold your breath through the whole thing.
Yep.
I want to know how Louie finds all these parts, because he'll message me and go, "Hey, I need these fender extensions from a guy in Tucson, Arizona." And I'm like, I'm on every day looking for parts, just blowing away an hour a day, and I never find them. Louie's going poop, poop, poop.
Ding, 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 ding. LL Pontiac, he's got resources.
Imagine how dangerous I'll be if I understand computers, huh?
No, Dad.
Oh, here we go.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Jonathan could tell you I could find anything, man.
Yeah.
You have to be all over. I check out eBay through all different times throughout the day, different times from when I wake up, when I'm at lunch at work, or even I'm here in the garage, I'm checking stuff out. Facebook Marketplace as it goes. I even still go to Craigslist once in a while and I check stuff. That's how I found my Y68 Firebird actually, and Craigslist. Yeah. But you have to float around. I mean, I don't know if these parts actually are calling me or I go look out for them. I just happens to find them. I don't know.
But also, if it's a good deal, you better have cash in hand on the road before you hang up the phone.
Because it won't last. No.
It'll be gone.
It will be gone. A lot of guys don't play fair.
Last guy that I went to Tucson for Louis for a couple weeks ago, I saved his phone number. That guy had 3 66, 68 birds in his yard for parts. And then inside, he had 2 69s and a 77 or 78. So I took his number down, and if I need parts, if anybody else needs parts from Arizona, those rust-free cars.
But that
was Louis that hooked me up with that.
Yes. The question was for to save money and shipping and stuff like that in the beginning of the show, right?
Yeah.
All right. What I did, and it is a big, huge help. If you guys could find a car show, or a neighborhood car show that is not too far around, with a swap meet also, because they usually do everything together sometimes. I go to Car Isle, Pennsylvania. It's 2 hours from my house. but I got all my sheet metal shipped from Ames for the white car there, and I saved a ton on shipping. And then sometimes what Ames will do is they'll sell you an old stock shelf life. It's probably been on the shelf 3, 4, 5 years, so they call it old stock. You got to talk to these people. That's what I do. I want to talk to. I get to talk to them. I tell them, well, put me your manager on the phone. I want to talk to that person, and I want to say what you got in there that you have a good deal for me. That's what I want to hear. I don't want to see what you have online ready to go out today. No, what you have in there that has some dust on it. That's what I want. And they will cut you a deal because they tell you, oh, with time it got scuffed up, so it's scratched up or whatever. You're gonna take the thing down anyway.
Mm-hmm.
The E-coat, you're gonna strip it out anyway. I think the floor pan they wanted like 400, something like that. The guy gave it to me like half price because it was an old stock. That's it. So you gotta talk. If you don't talk, you ain't getting nowhere.
Yep. That's
well, I
true.
wish one of these art suppliers would become a sponsor of all of ours.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah, I know. You're right.
Yeah, that'd be pretty awesome, you know.
Yeah, I would think by now Summit will be sponsoring me. I got so many things from Summit, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, me too.
Summit should, and I think Ames should. So anyone work for them or watching or
I'll be honest with you. Well, Mike did the painting on his 67 Bird. The way he took his time breaking down all these kind of shit, I mean, it blew my mind. God bless the guy. He must have patience of a saint. But because let me tell you something. He did a hell of a job, and that takes a lot of work for you guys that do not do YouTube. It takes a lot of work to put a video like that together. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Being Summit, his next project, I'll pay for the paint. I'll tell him here you go. Here's everything. Because that takes a lot of work, and he had everything good and the truth to say about Summit's paint, and it looks great.
Yeah, Summit's paint impressed me. I gotta say, I'm told it's actually made by Sherwin-Williams, but
okay,
it is
I've heard that too.
Good quality paint. It worked good. It laid nice. I mean, couldn't make it run. It was awesome.
Nice.
I'm very, very happy with it.
Okay.
So, Louis, how do you avoid? We were talking just as you jumped on. How do you avoid the scams and what are your warning signs when you're trying to buy something private sale and that it's not?
Oh,
right?
That's easy for me. As a matter of fact, you guys that follow the first generation sites on Facebook, before you guys want to post anything on there, I have to approve it. Really? If I approve it, it gets posted.
Well, you let one get by you last week, bud.
Oh well, maybe I took too long to answer it. So if I take too long to answer it, somebody else will answer it.
Okay. So,
but you got to give a stupid question to the person.
Yep.
Like if I say something like, well, how much do the radio under the hood cost? Do you have that item? And if he's telling me, let me go look for it, I know he's, selling me the Brooklyn Bridge.
Right.
So you gotta try to answer those kind of, ask those kind of questions, see the guy's even knowledgeable of what he's selling. If he's a scammer, number one. Number two, what I'll do too is like, I'll probably call Jonathan or Brian and say, hey, have you heard of this guy before? Have you dealt with this guy before? Right. Things like that is also safe. Or sometimes I threaten them. I said, do you know who Louis is from First Generation Garage? And that happens to work too.
What's the last bone in your body you want broken?
Yeah, there you go.
I mean, I had a similar, one other thing I noticed is it's like, okay, how much to ship that to me here and give them my zip code? I had an answer in like 10 sequends.
Yeah.
Flag. There's no way anybody can look that up that fast, right?
No.
There were a number of warning signs and all added up. It was, this is a scam. It's no doubt about it. But it was from that 67, 69 Firebird parts site on Facebook. But it wasn't a marketplace ad. It was just a listing there with a bunch of parts.
Okay.
Well,
and then he took it down immediately.
All right. Well, that was one I think I sent Louis a message a while back. There was a guy parting out a car, too good to be true. And I started asking about either left-hand threaded bolts or lithium-ion battery pack under the driver's side seat. Would you
Yeah, I
sell it to
remember
me? He goes, I don't think I have that. So how about the oxygen sensor for that Ram Air 3 engine and the ECM? Would you be willing to sell those? I'll sell you the whole engine. I'm like, come on now. I think Louis fired off. Would you sell me the underhood speakers? The
Yeah,
guy's
yeah,
still
something
trying to
like
sell
that.
these parts. So they're still
What's
trying to sell
capacitor?
them. Right,
Yeah.
right.
And some things I've seen people do is ask them to take another picture with like a
Yeah.
beer can on the hood or something, you know,
Yeah.
just to prove that they actually have the car.
Yep.
Well, I tell you, L Pontiac part has never done me wrong.
Yeah,
Thank
I
you,
know.
thank you, thank you, thank you,
Oh,
thank
no.
you.
Oh, yeah.
No,
And-
Pontiac.
And that's kind of it's a funny but not. It's this little network that you tend to find yourself in, like us guys.
Mhm.
I'll tell Louis I need this. I got one of those.
Yeah.
And then
Yep.
I'll think, oh, I have this, and I send it to him. It's to me that network is where I go first, and then I start hitting the catalogs, and then Facebook Marketplace or whatever.
Right. I mean, it's nice if you can deal with people you know, but it just sometimes you gotta get out there and search for a part that's not available or something. And like I got right there, whole stack of parts ready to go to Louis' place next Tuesday.
All right.
I need to walk a little
And there's
closer so I
something
can
there for
see.
Jonathan.
That's what I'm looking for. I paid this
need
guy
one
and
of
he
those.
didn't deliver him. What the heck?
Yeah, I got cocktail shakers for Jonathan. I've also got that old manual top front bow that I think you can get something out of. So
Yeah, I think I can salvage the rest of my dad's top frame, but the front bow, it's
front
toast.
bow's toast. I saw that.
Yeah.
But
He's
this one's
done, dude.
marginally better than what you have.
Yeah. Well, I'll see what I can work the magic. You know.
There you go.
Yeah.
Now, see, the thing I got an advantage of this car here behind me is it's my dad's car, and if we haven't remembered, he's retired, so he'll send me stuff on Marketplace all day long. And if I see something that's like a super hot steel deal, go get it. He can jump in the car and go get it because, well, he's retired. He has the time to go do that.
Yeah.
So we've been able to snag up a few good deals on some parts of his car that sometimes you wouldn't always necessarily be able to get. So I do have that advantage on this build. So that is helpful having that.
Yeah, for sure. No, it's just we're all nice guys. We're all car guys. We like to think everybody else is nice guys and car guys, and you just like to think it's a community and you can get out there and buy stuff from people and get an honest transaction. But clearly that's just not the case anymore. You got to be so careful.
Well, even today I got a fraud alert on my other bank account for the debit card that I don't use. I checked it out. I had 3 charges for $100, like $98, $95. They showed pending. They were rejecting them, but I was like, "What's going on? I'm not driving in an Uber. How did they get my number?" It's like, you got to be careful. There's thieves everywhere, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I use one credit card that is just for online stuff.
Yeah.
So that if there's ever an issue, I know where it's coming from. So.
Yeah, I called those guys. I call those guys a waste of sperm. The father should have shot them down the toilet. That's what I call them.
W. Wilder 9 says parts were a little easier to find 15 years ago.
Amen to that.
I would say, yep.
Used parts, yep.
Yeah, used parts. Now, the repop stuff, love it or hate it. You compare the crap you could buy 20 years ago. I love the stuff that I can buy. I can make it work.
Yeah,
the stuff I used 20-something years ago, it was awful. It was horrible. Yep. Not even close. But you still made it work. But you just used a lot more body filler. But that's probably how I got so good at sanding that crap. Just sculpting a car. But now I don't have to.
Yeah, everybody gives the repop stuff a bad rap, and some of it, like that top frame, was horrible. But it can make it work. You just got to work through it. Work the problem.
Yep.
What it is.
If it's completely rusted out, or we're talking about top frames, manual top frames are not the same as power top frames.
That's right.
The cylinders will physically bolt in, but it doesn't work right. You almost have to kind of help the top up and help the top down if you try to put a power cylinder on a manual top frame.
Yeah,
So
in the
kind of works.
I did a thing on that few videos ago on what's the difference, because I had a manual top sitting next to a power top, and it's literally the height of the hinge points. Because if it's pushing from the rear with that piston, it's a different leverage point than if you're pushing with your arm.
Oh yeah, I remember that video. Yep.
And that's why. Because Jonathan always said it was different, but I wanted to see
what was the difference. What was the difference? Yeah,
totally different. But it's subtle. It's not easy to pick out. But when you start looking at heights of the hinge points, they're totally different.
they changed the leverage point. That's the thing about it, though. If you look at the kits that you can buy to convert your car to power top, here's everything you need, but the super microscopic fine print says you need to buy a top frame too. It doesn't put it in bold print. I go, well, that's why I said, how are they selling these kits? They don't work. I actually went through and read the article. At the very bottom, it actually says you'll need to replace the frame as well. But they don't make that very clear, unfortunately.
Right.
So Jason from Ogre Speed Shop just joined us, and he had 69 Bird in Oklahoma, like South Central Oklahoma.
Yeah,
And
nice
him and I
bird.
were talking today, and he said he's been buying stuff from these guys. So I'm going to go over that website real quick while we're talking here. Let's see.
And it's funny too, some sites, while you're pulling that up, some sites will have things that other sites don't. Like for weird, obscure shit, sometimes Firebird Central. I don't know why. If I can't find anything up there, and they'll have it.
Yep. My last video just came out. I talked about the inner quarter panels where on the convertibles that they were not available. Guess what? Firebird Central sells them. I even said someone's stamping them. They got to be in the market at some point. Well, they are. So FYI, bad information for you. So you can buy them.
I saw that too. I almost pinged you on that. Classic has now the lower sections for those same panels. Just the lower
for the convertibles.
Yep.
They had them for coupes for a long time, but now they do it for convertibles. Okay.
Yep. Just the lower section though. Just that bottom part that always rots out.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Good to know.
I like Firebird Central's website.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I like Firebird Central's website the best. So a lot of times I may use Ames if I'm trying to find a part, and Ames' website sometimes to me can kind of, but if I go to Firebird Central, usually
not the best search engine. Yeah. You got to be super specific on Ames. It doesn't make any assumptions.
Right. It's not AI.
No, it's not AI.
No.
Oh, this is cool.
So this is one of the websites that Jason sent me that he uses. Reproduction electrical products for American muscle cars.
Oh.
That's pretty neat.
And I kind of just went through it a little bit before we started the show. And I'm like, I'm going to save this. That's pretty freaking cool.
Yeah, that is cool.
And let me see. What was the other one he said here? And where was that one? And Firebird Central. You know what? I didn't get the chance to pull that other one up. But let's see. Besides Firebird Central, Ames, the other panel people, or at least the online Classic. Year One. Do they do Firebird?
Oh yeah, that was the whole name of the Year One for the '69 Trans Am. That was their beginning. So.
MPD is another one.
Yeah, there's so many.
National Parts Direct. Yeah.
Those
are the go-to. There's a little bit of stuff you can get from Speedway Motors, not a lot, but Jegs.
Yeah, Jegs.
Jegs does some you can get some good deals with Jegs, but like Jonathan said, with Jegs and Summit, a lot of times you get free shipping if you do it right. So
correct.
Oh yeah, you leave in your car for a couple, 3-4 days, they start popping off some coupons. That's why I play the game.
Yep.
And Jegs is where I bought all my lower rear quarter panel patches.
Mm-hmm.
They were like $50-$60, and like you said, free shipping. If you leave it in your cart, they'll like, oh, you forgot it in your cart.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
We'll get shipping. Absolutely. Hook me up.
So I bought the Jegs branded doors for the Firebird, and they were really a lot cheaper than anybody else. I mean, I think I saved like $250 buying them. I just said, I'll take a punt on this and see how they go. They were really nice. And the 67 is obviously unique because of the vent window and the
door hinges.
In the door hinges. But I was quite impressed with how nice a door that was. And I didn't have a lot of the other issues I saw people with online where they were having struggles getting the vent window down through the like the AMD and the OER doors.
Really?
So yeah, I don't know. I thought those were really nice and they were very straight.
Now, Mike, you have a 67.
Yes.
What transmission did you put in yours?
T56, 6-speed.
And do you have the original shifter?
No. The T56 has a built-in shifter.
Okay.
All
right.
The T56 has a unit that comes right up out of the housing. And you can mount it in 3 locations.
Okay. Because that's what I had to do this week was learn how to adapt that rod that's only 67 that Louis sent me to my TH350. And we got it to work, and it's actually, I like it better shifting it than I did the 68 shifter that Louis sent me. It feels better. It's a different feel, and I like it much better. So, and Louis, I'm sending you back that 68 shifter and everything. That'll be probably Monday.
Make sure the 69 shifter you sent me, because there wasn't no 68 I sent you.
Oh, it was a 69. Okay, sorry. My bad.
That explains everything.
You mean telling Brian doesn't know difference between 69 and 68?
Let's see. VHP says both front fenders, no rust, white in color, hood also. Oh, okay. So he's got 454. He's selling some stuff, it looks like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I take the differential on the screens, but I have a place to keep them.
Tom Sexton says headers or exhaust manifold, and which one? Tom, be more specific.
What he want to know? Exhaust headers?
Headers or manifolds?
Headers? That's what I'm doing tonight. Headers. All my birds got headers.
I'll tell you, exhaust manifolds. So
yeah, I'd be if I had a choice, it would be manifolds.
I love headers, man.
I had to put headers on this just because, you know, to get the LS swap and everything. But I have a buddy who has a 454 Chevelle with factory style exhaust manifolds, and there's nothing that sounds better than that. They're not tinny. It sounds solid. They're just really nice. They don't rot out.
No. Man, I have headers on my toys too. On 2 of them, my high school car and this one. But if I'm doing like an original style build or not something that's going to be just driven hard, I would say manifolds all the way. You're not blowing out gaskets. You're not, dinging them, dragging them on the ground. They go in and out. You have to service a car for any reason. So
yeah, they're a little quieter. They sound more throaty.
Heat control under the hood, a lot less underhood heat. So, there's pros and cons to all of them. So, but as for the manifolds, I've also been told, this is a good one here, Ram Air Restorations, where you could buy the reproduction Ram Air 3 manifolds for these first generation birds. They were on infinite back order. I think my name was on the waiting list, but I've changed phone numbers twice since then, so my number got erased. But they're available now. He is actually now reaching out to people and filling some of those orders. Now, I can't say how far he is behind, but I can also tell you the price went up. So if I had my choice, I like those Ram Air manifolds.
John, how much they cost now?
Oh, I think
I need a pair.
$800 or $900 now from them. So
wow,
a lot less than I paid for the ones that I bought for the Mockingbird. But I couldn't find nothing to save my life for that Mockingbird.
I found those too.
yeah, Louis L&L Pontiac parts counter didn't fail on that one either.
So you're telling me, John, to ditch my manifold and go get headers?
I'm not telling you to do that. No.
Nope. I wouldn't.
Nope.
I wouldn't. In a lot of those factory, especially the Pontiacs, I mean, a lot of those factory manifolds were well designed. They did a nice job.
Yeah, they did. Yep.
And looking even at the newer stuff and the LS manifolds and all that, it's like the LS intakes. You can go out and buy a Holley, fancy, high-rise, badass looking intake, but none of them work as good as the GM intake. They just don't.
Yeah, the Chevy Trailblazer SS intake is probably the highest rated, and then the plain old truck intake right behind it, and then the LS6. So,
yeah, they those GM engineers know what they're doing from time to time.
They're just ugly. That's the problem. They're ugly, but they work.
Yeah, they are ugly. Ugly in the boot, but hey.
Well, it looks like headers seems to be the winner. Most people are saying headers out there.
Well, the flip side is these first generation Firebird. Louis, you're going to have to agree with me on this. Finding a set that you could afford that actually fit.
Yeah.
Yeah, they ain't cheap no more, okay?
No, they're not cheap.
Doug's headers are probably the best ones, but they're not cheap. So I had Hooker Super Comps, used to be decent, but I paid a lot of money for mine back in the day, and I donated them to L&L Pontiac. They're good headers.
They on my white car.
Right, see? They get used. They got some life out of them still.
Yep. I'm putting Hetman headers on the Lady Bird tonight. I did the driver's side. That's why I came in late. But the whole exhaust is gonna be done tonight. And it's true as Jonathan's saying. I think he got a good deal. I think he paid $200 for these headers. And they beautiful, but if you're gonna buy them brand new, they like $500 or $600.
Yeah. For the LS, I bought the Summit 3/4 headers. There, just the little ones that come down. They don't come down very far, but they dump almost like an exhaust manifold. So it made running the exhaust very easy with that.
Yeah.
Stainless.
I like stainless. I got stainless on this one and stainless on that one. But that has the Ram Air 4 round port style head, so it was a whole lot for options for a header. So but I ended up buying some for a J. They were supposed to have been for an A body, but everyone kept saying in the reviews they didn't fit. They were, I think, Chinesium. They were cheap, but they said they did not fit their A body car. I looked at the pictures, like I think that'll fit in my Firebird. I did have to ding one pipe just a little bit, but they fit even all the shift linkage and the Z bar. And I paid like $200 for them, and they're stainless steel 2-inch primaries into a 3.5-inch collector. So they look pretty awesome.
So William O'Brien asked, "Will a 67 doors work on a 68 coupe?" No.
Weld them shut. Put 01 on the door and weld them shut. That works just fine.
Weld them shut and don't put any windows in it. You'll be fine.
Right.
Be fine.
Yeah, the answer is no, not really.
Yeah, they're different on the inside. They don't have the vent window. They're just
the hinges are totally different. The hinges are totally different. Forget about the window. The hinges is a no, buddy. So,
hey, one of the questions that came up earlier, and I can't remember now, but somebody was asking, where can you find the etched glass for the 68s? Is there a place you can actually buy that now?
They were making them repop. I thought they were making them repop. Now you were able to get repop glass for your car and it fit, right, Mike?
Yeah, it fit okay.
I have bought some repop glass and it sucks. So I try not to use it unless I have to, and I can't tell you it's hit or miss. The problem I had was the door glass compared to the quarter glass. Like the door glass had a tighter radius than the quarter glass. So when you rolled them up, the top and the bottom reach, but you get your fingers in between the two of them. So I measured the original glass compared to the replacement. It's the door glass was the issue.
So I looked at that. Actually, I was working on that today, just doing my final adjustment, and I have maybe almost an eighth of height difference in the center of the window. Just exactly like you said, the door glass has a tighter radius, but And the one other thing I will say about the repop glass is the windshields are thinner. They're not as thick as the OE ones.
Right.
But
They're way lighter. So.
Yeah, I didn't have any of the OE. I didn't have the OE windshield. I had all the OE glass, but that's all going to Louis. But I was looking for the tinted glass, so I changed it all.
Yep.
Those are in the Louis boxes.
I need a windshield for a convertible.
Nah, I don't have
Pontiac.
that. So I've seen some guys online, Louis, say just go to a normal glass place, like a local glass shop, and you can still order those, and it'll be the right thickness.
Oh, okay.
So
I know for
out.
the Project Mockingbird, I needed just a windshield glass for that. I did contact the local glass guy. He didn't kill me on shipping because they're always getting a big glass shipment, so they just threw it in the stack. I think I paid $150 for the windshield.
Yep.
It fit great, and it felt nice, and it was cheaper than me trying to buy it online. So there is some truth. I forgot about that, but as soon as you mentioned it, that's what I did.
Good.
So
I called, same thing with mine. My windshield was busted, and I called a local glass guy, and he's like, "What do you want me to install?" I'm like, "No, I just want to buy the glass." And it was like $150. And he showed up at the house, delivered it, and I slapped it in, no problem.
Not bad.
So I had a buddy of mine who used to do etched glass. And if you just go to like any decal place and have a cut decal made of that bird, you can literally stick it on the inside of that window, mask the rest of it off, and just lightly hit it with sandblast. And it works. I've seen it
you
done.
can do it. Sandblast, acid.
Yep.
Now, the original birds actually was painted on porcelain and baked onto the glass.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Huh.
Now it's pretty indestructible, the porcelain. Now,
Yep.
I need a driver's side one for my dad's car. I have the passenger side, but I don't have the driver's side. But that car got hit down the driver's side somewhere in its life. Different fender, different door. Probably the glass turned into redneck diamonds at that point, because I found them all over the place inside the door, inside the car. So.
Redneck diamonds.
That's funny.
That's a new one.
I heard it somewhere, so I can't really take credit for it, but I thought it was funny.
So Jim and Kelly asked, "Are stainless brake lines worth money if these cars don't see the bad weather anymore?"
Nah.
Yeah, I hate it. It's really hard to work with.
Good old-fashioned rubber.
I like that copper nugget. Are you talking about the stainless braided?
No, I think like the steel bent lines that go through the car.
Yeah, bent lines I wouldn't do, but I've been going with that copper nickel alloy stuff. That seems to work pretty nice.
Well, I've bought both kits, the stainless kits and the pre-bent. I guess I'm assuming probably regular steel. I like the looks of the stainless better. I said this car here, I think I put stainless on the Transmarorado. It looks really nice. And I can't remember one of the other cars I did. I put the regular brake lines on it. And after the car got wet a few times, the brake lines are discolored. Now, I'm being picky. This is the bottom side of the car. But Louis knows I like the bottom side look as good as the top side.
Oh,
so.
Jonathan Trans Am, that thing is as painted, as clean as the top. The bottom is painted exactly the same. That's why I think I made a video when he came over here that I said, you know, you ask somebody in a car show who built your car, a professional shop. You know, this guy built that car in his house garage, and it looks better than those cars.
Louis was laying on the garage floor, laying underneath the car, like looking around.
I slept in the garage with the car that night.
We don't need to hear about that.
That explains everything.
So Richard Doobie asks, what's the difference between a convertible and a coupe windshield?
Height.
Is the height, yeah.
And convertible windshield is shorter. So.
Yeah, even the windshield wipers are different for convertibles.
Oh, yeah, good point, Mike. Yep.
The wiper arms are different arms. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
So, you know, they do. It is the way it is.
Yeah. Actually, when I was building the Mockingbird, I was getting to the stage of putting the car all back together. the original glass in that car was actually in really nice shape. Problem was, I couldn't find it. I don't know where the hell I left it at. And I couldn't remember for the life of me. Then I was my high school car there on the third bay. I backed it out of the garage and I looked up and the windshield's about that short from reaching the top of the window frame. And I realized that's not the windshield for this car. I put it there so it didn't get broken or damaged. And I realized where I left the windshield at. It was laying in that car. So that's how I know they're different heights. So.
Real world experience right there.
Yes. Hard knocks. Like, oops.
So WVHP 454 says he lives in Pennsylvania. Where in Pennsylvania? Big state.
Yeah, that's big.
Yeah,
He's
it
the
is.
guy that has
Louis?
parts for sale.
He's about,
Yeah,
he
he's got a
has
lot of
the,
parts. He sounds like Louis ought to be going to pay him a visit.
the differential, the fenders. He has a nice set of 69 fenders, Louis. You better go steal them.
Go and grab them. All right.
Yeah.
It looks like Rod from Fiberfest has another announcement. Do we want to bring him in real quick?
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's do it.
Let's bring him in.
Is it his birthday?
Let's see.
Yeah, let's not get
There
barn
he
stuck.
is. There's Rod.
Yeah.
Hey, Rod.
Too small now.
What we doing, Rod?
How you doing, Brian? We got too many in the room, it looks like.
Well, we're all just
full
popping
house.
cars. Yeah.
How you doing, guys?
Doing
Great.
See, we got Mike, Jonathan, and it's so small I can't even tell.
Louis down there in the corner. Yeah.
good. Louis with the new haircut.
How you
Or
guys-
no haircut.
Good.
I won't
He's
keep you long.
handsome.
I won't keep you long because we got tornado warnings out all over the place here, and it's getting pretty bad.
Oh, man.
Thanks, guy.
We're talking about 100-mile-an-hour winds and a lot of damage. So hopefully we'll dodge that.
Yeah.
So what did I miss? What you guys working on?
We're talking
Oh, we're
about the
trying
do's and don'ts with buying parts.
What's
Yeah.
that?
We're talking about the do's and don'ts of buying parts.
I thought
Private,
we did
public.
this week.
So that's what we're talking. We're to buy parts and where not to buy parts and stuff like that, Rod.
Gotcha. How you doing, Brian?
Good. So what's happening with Fiberfest? Anything new?
Yeah, we got something new. I'm not going to keep you long. I've got to get in the basement here in a few minutes. But we got a couple souvenirs that we wanted to show off, and let me figure out how to turn this thing around here.
Can you zoom in on Rob?
I'm still a rookie.
I don't want to see Brian. No, the other guy.
Hold on. I'm trying to make this work here.
There
All
we
right,
go.
Rod.
There you go.
Hey, all right.
I can turn my camera around.
Sure.
How do I
Yeah,
turn
go
my
for it.
Yeah.
All right. Let me see what we got going on here. You guys are experts at this, not me.
Experts.
Okay, the camera's on. How do I turn it around? Do I go to camera, turn it around?
Should
Yeah,
be. Hit the button.
see if you turn it 90 degrees and see if it responds.
Yeah, just flip your phone around. We'll be fine.
I'll just turn the phone around.
There we go. Whoa, no.
That way?
There it is.
Hey, all right. Yep.
Now, does it give you the little arrow circle thingy?
Neutral
Nah,
hetero.
I just
That's good.
guys. All right. Well, I guess that's not going to work. So we got some
Looking
souvenirs.
good for us.
We got some souvenirs printed up. I wanted to show off.
What
Nice.
is that?
Oh, very cool.
That is
All right.
cool.
We got the AC/DC tribute band coming this year, so
Cool.
we got a bunch of prototypes made and wanted to show those off. We got a big order in.
Nice. Perfect.
But the main reason I wanted to join you is to show you this. No, I don't have no new tools from Harbor Freight.
Oh, man. Harbor's Freight, huh?
Let me see.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, that is cool.
Can you see
Look at
that?
Yep.
What is that?
Fiberfest 25.
That's our T-shirt.
That's the
That's the official
T-shirt.
one right there. Mm.
Excellent.
Can you see all of it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Perfect.
plain as day. Yep. Loud and clear.
So we wanted to do.
That is cool.
We wanted to do a classic theme with your first gen, and we kind of look at Megan as a classic. So it says that where the classics live forever.
That's nice.
Very cool, man. Thank you, Rod.
Yeah,
Very nice.
I figured I'd show it to you first before we show everybody else.
That is super cool.
You saw it here first.
So we're gonna have 3 different T-shirt designs, and we're gonna unveil those on the website. But I wanted to show you that.
Sweet. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, you guys
Those-
don't have tornadoes out there?
Nope, I got 73 and warm's all we got. No, not really anything happening here.
Gotcha. I gotta give a shout out to Lisa. She's I know she's watching. She's always on here.
Oh yeah, yep.
So that design actually started with Lisa. So she had Julio from Brazil. So this design was 2 months in the making. So Julio did the drawing.
Is he going to be at the show?
What's that?
Rod, will he be at the show?
Absolutely. Yep.
Sweet. I'm going to buy
Yeah.
that man a beer.
You got to
Yeah.
thank him in person. Yeah, you get to thank him in person. So that design started in Houston, Texas with Lisa, and then went to Brazil, and Julio drew up her vision, and then I guess she surprised you with that picture, I guess.
Yep, that was cool.
And then so we've got an art guy here in Missouri that helped design our T-shirt. He's the one that put it all together. So that design's been all over the world already.
Nice.
And don't
Very
forget to register.
That's right.
And what are the dates for everybody there for Rod? What are the dates?
May 15th through the 18th. May 15th, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Poker run starts at 9 a.m. on Thursday. So get here Wednesday night and get some sleep, and then check in at 9 o'clock in the morning for the poker run.
There you go.
And we'll have a spot ready for Luis.
Nice.
Very nice. Cool.
Mike, where are you at? Mike,
I'm in New Hampshire.
Pennsylvania?
New Hampshire.
You're New Hampshire. Luis is in Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. So how'd you guys all meet? You just got online and found each other, or how did you all? Did any of you meet in person?
Oh well,
Yeah, Louis
I've been to. Yeah, Mike's been to see Louis. I've seen Louis in Pennsylvania, and I've been to Arizona to see Brian.
Oh, have you really? Wow.
You know, yeah, I put Brian's roof on his car, and Louis, we've done quite a few projects on his car. So I go out there. I travel around and play cars. It's just fun.
Yeah, we tend to all suffer from Firebird acquisition syndrome.
Yeah.
Yes,
That's how we kind of got round up.
Ron, I have a question for you.
Yeah, go ahead, Luis.
I only see the second gen bird announced on Fiberfest. When am I gonna see the wings down bird? Because to be honest with you, that's the mecca. You know, that's the bird that started it all.
You only see the second. What?
He wants the Hopi Indian bird.
Oh, you're talking about the bird.
Yeah,
the bird, the daddy bird. Yeah.
Oh, the first bird. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll have to incorporate that somehow.
Okay.
Brian, what part of Arizona are you in? I forgot to ask you that last week.
So I'm in would be southeastern Arizona or Phoenix. I'm in Queen Creek. So I'm southeast of Phoenix.
Southeast of Phoenix. So you would be south. You're near Chandler.
Yes, I'm in Gilbert Chandler. That's kind of my territory.
Okay, I went to college in Arizona. I forgot to bring that up last week. I spent a year of my life. I spent a year of my life there in Prescott.
Yep. And
Beautiful
you played
area.
ball, right?
Yeah. Have you been in Prescott?
Oh, I've been many times. Whiskey Row.
Yeah. Flagstaff too. Beautiful place.
Oh yeah.
So my college roommate lived in Siloam, if you know where that's at.
Oh yeah. Yep.
So on the weekends we would go out. Prescott's up in the mountains, so we would drive from the mountains out in the middle of nowhere. And I had never seen a cactus in my life until I moved to Arizona in college. I had never seen a cactus. So I told my roommate, I said, is there any cactus by your house? And he said, oh my God, they're all over the place. I said, well, the first time we go to your house, I'm going to climb a cactus.
Oh.
He
probably said, okay.
He said, that's not possible. He said,
No.
that's not happen.
I would have let you try.
Yeah. We did some climbing, but it wasn't up on a cactus. There's a lot of places to climb around there. So we did a lot of exploring and climbing, and beautiful place. I mean,
Yeah.
non-typical Arizona. I mean, it's like you're in Colorado.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can be in the desert, and in 2 hours you're in the pine trees and the mountains and the snow, and it's a great little place.
Yeah, I love that town. Beautiful place. I got to go.
Cool.
I haven't been back in a while. All right, I'm gonna check the radar. What's going on here?
Get your head down.
Take care.
All right, bye, Jonathan.
All right. Yep.
See you, Rod. Yep.
See you guys
See you,
later.
See you, Rod.
Yep.
Nice to meet you.
Yes, sir. Nice to meet you.
All right. Cool. A little bit of an update there for us for Fiberfest.
Nice.
Louis,
Yes, sir.
Are you coming to Fiberfest?
Not this year.
Are you gonna fly?
No, I'm not going this year at all.
Next year.
I have a lot of things to do. I'm trying to do the bird cage and order a lift and all that. I got a lot of things to do.
Yeah, I'm
I
still
think
on the
next year-
fence. I'm trying to work it out. My nephew's graduating high school down in Tennessee, so I'm trying to work it out.
Okay, then next year I think Jonathan and I are gonna drive to Pennsylvania, kidnap you, and drive
Put you in the trunk.
Oh, next year I'll just pick Louis up on the way through.
Yeah, there you go.
You do that.
You know, next year I'm gonna really have to go because Ladybird's gonna be there next year.
Is it?
Right.
Nice.
Yeah.
Show that thing off.
Yeah, so we'll be in the 67 convertible with Mike, and we'll see the 68 over there.
So one last question here. Aaron K asks, which sheet metal parts do you consider the best fitment in quality? I have to get a lot for my 67.
Well,
All right, my opinion. I think everybody could go, but my personal experience is a hit or miss. I swear to God, it is. I mean, that's the honest.
Or a coupe.
I use everything out there, and some of it works better than the other. Some of it don't.
Yeah.
It all depends. It all depends.
And these are, when they stamp this material, it's aluminum dies. So they wear fast. So even if AMD was a really nice tight fit at the beginning of the life of that die, towards the end, it might not be. But consider them a starting point. You're making every panel by scratch, from scratch. This is your starting point. If you think of it that way, you can't go wrong.
Right. Yeah. Rare do they ever just fall right into place. You got to do a little manipulating, a little massaging, a little bit of stretching and twisting.
Yes.
But most of the time, I like probably AMD, OER. Now, again, if you look carefully at the tags in the back of the stuff, like Mike says, you might find this made in Taiwan CHL brand. I've already proven the rear frame rails are all stamped in the same place. For not all of them, but OER and AMD, exact same stickers on them. But I kind of wonder if they when they throw them out of the stamp, so there's a quick inspection. This is AMD quality. This is OER quality. It depends on where it gets started, how bad that rework the die or something like that. So I think they sort them, but they all get stamped in the same place. But again, I say AMD, OER for me. Then other than that, good mark. It's all kind of hit or miss. So,
right.
Like Louis said, it's kind of roll the dice.
I will say this, though. If you really want to learn how to do this sheet metal and you want to see somebody that does it every single day of his life, go to Amazing Metalworks on YouTube. Juby Mays, they're all Camaros. Most of the stuff he does is Camaro, but it's all the same. And you will learn so much just on what amazed me about these bodies is how forgiving they are. So
there's a lot of tolerance.
they
A lot
are
of
built
tolerance.
to be extremely tolerant. I mean, and there's some cars that are built on the Monday after a Super Bowl, you can tell. But
Mhm.
it is amazing how easy everything is designed to go together, but not really be all that critical. That I was extremely nervous about measurements and all that stuff at the beginning. Now that I'm done and understand it, it's not that critical. It really isn't.
I
And
lean more on what's it look like, not what the
Yeah.
measurements are.
yeah, exactly. But check out Juby Mays on Amazing Metalworks, and Louis and I used to tune into his show every week too.
Yeah, Tuesday.
And,
Yeah.
Really cool guy, and he worked for a company right outside of AMD. So he used mostly AMD panels, but he did a lot of really good videos on Camaros that it just takes you through it every step of the way.
I'll have to look him up.
Yeah, he's amazing. Good guy.
Nice guy. Yeah.
All right,
But-
boys, we've hit that 1 hour mark.
We
All right,
survived.
brother.
So I have one last question. I know there's a time change for everyone in the world but Arizona. Does the hour difference help or take away from the show? So that's for us to
It's
talk about
9:30 here. Right.
It's 6:30 here.
You
Yeah, it's
bum.
9:30 here.
9:36 here.
Mm.
So I don't know.
So
I
if you
don't
guys
really
need-
know until we run this a few weeks, right? To me, it doesn't make that much difference. But let's keep doing it. See what happens.
You know what we didn't do? We didn't do any kind of trivia or giveaway. If anyone
I was just
matters.
thinking about the trivia.
I do
Just
have
30
extra.
seconds.
Oh boy,
Oh, we need a trivia question too.
So,
is your face on the Joker?
yeah, it is.
Ay, ay, ay. He's more of a clown, isn't he? So,
Let me see.
So, Get one question. Let's find out. Someone get some stickers.
Louis, you go
Jonathan,
for it. I didn't laugh.
You want me to give out the trivia question, John?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you go. You go.
Do it, Louis. Do it.
Okay.
See, while Louis was doing that, I was playing with my car here, the one I'm building with my dad's. I kind of find out this is a 2-speed transmission, and it's the numbers matching transmission to this poor old sled. So I guess I'm gonna have to keep it now. So,
Okay.
All right, Louis ready.
All right. Okay. Trivia for tonight is going to be which year? Which year? It have to be it have to be within pretending Firebird. Which year, or did every 3 gents get it? Was the bench seat introduced to the car?
oh,
So, the
So
Firebird,
did Firebird, first gen Firebird. So did the 67 only have it? Did the 68 only have it? Did the 69 only have it? Or they all 3 have it?
okay.
Think
So what
about
year-
it.
Bench.
Yeah, because these cars did come with a bench seat in the front.
Okay.
Really?
So that'd be
I
our-
didn't know that.
Oh, you
bench
just got
seat, column
fooled, buddy.
shift.
I
Oh, we
learn
got a few
something
answers.
every day from you, Louis. Every day.
I see them-
Thank
I see
you, I
them rolling
appreciate
in
that.
now. Yeah, I see it rolling
Some
in.
I don't want to know, but I do learn.
Well, Louis, here's the answer so far: 67 only, 67, 68. So
67 looks like the answer.
That's wrong.
It's wrong.
It's
Which
wrong.
year was it, Louis? We
I'm
have
gonna
a,
go for someone to answer. We got to get it.
Yeah, let them answer. So
Oh,
we got an
somebody
all
said
three.
all 3, Louis. Someone said all 3.
We got a 68, a 67, and an all 3.
All right. Let the show end, and I think I help Brian all the time. I see who answered first, and I give him the.
They're firing off answers quick, Louis.
Yeah, I got some nice trivia questions.
We'll close the show. You guys keep answering, and then Louis and I will pick the winner.
Yeah.
All right,
We'll
then.
make the announcement next week then. Okay, cool.
All right, guys.
We'll see you
All right, guys.
next
Good
time.
night.
Keep twisting the
Good night.
wrenches.
Stay safe, and we'll see y'all later.
All right. Bye bye.
See you guys. Thank you. Thanks, Brian.